Hello people, my name is Adam and I am the main director here at the Muses Mire. Today we have an exciting video for you because we will be answering all of your burning questions. A little while ago we put out a form asking you to submit any questions you wanted. This isn't in celebration of anything in particular, it's just a fun thing to do. But I can't do this alone, that's why the rest of the team will be joining me throughout the video to answer questions alongside me. Let them introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Josh. I probably do the second most amount of stuff for this channel, even if I barely do anything compared to Adam. I'm a voice actor, artist, mixer, and writer, and I'm responsible for directing more of the comedic or bizarre projects and videos that end up on Muses.
Hello, I am Soph, and I am one of the main staff members here on the Muses. I do a lot of background stuff, like moderating the Discord server and overall providing support where it's needed, but I'm mainly one of the voice actresses. You can find me on this channel as Edelgard, Azriel, Lemmy, and a few other silly little fellas. If you don't recognize the name Soph, that's probably because I was previously known as Potato Goddess 787.
Hi, my name's Cam. I've been a part of the Muses Mire for years now. I was a part of Five Nights at Freddy's After Hours, Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach the Musical, Dark Deception Songs of the Shards, and a lot of one-off covers.
Hi, my name is Ryan, or Ryzan Music, and I am the newest member of the Muses team. I have been in all 4 major projects on the channel, as well as in a lot of the smaller one-off videos. I am also the director and lyricist for both the Lethal Company short and The Last of Us.
Hello, nice to meet you. I'm Oddbrother, co-founder of the Muses Mire and just another volunteering staff member.
And with that out of the way, let's start answering. What has been your favorite lyrical cover or collection to make on your channel? There's a good one to start with. There are so many cool series I've written for, but the one I think takes the cake are Hollow Knight and Fire Emblem Three Houses. Hollow Knight for its incredibly varied soundtrack, characters, and lore that gave me loads to draw inspiration from with enough flexibility to put my own spin on things, and Fire Emblem is special for how dramatic the soundtrack is with equally dramatic and rich characters. Being able to portray 3 perspectives on the same story is such a fun thing to write for, and is not something I'm opposed to revisiting in the future.
Last of Us will always hold a special place in my heart.
Fire Emblem! Please watch Fire Emblem.
I'll forever be partial to Togetherness. It's so pretty. Please watch it if you haven't.
So, I want this song. You don't have to make it. It's called
You guys trying to do more niche songs and media games like playtime with you, fan of your work,
kill or even
journey,
and
and
have a question or you Let's just get all these questions out of the way. This does not fall into the Q&A side that we were leaning into here. We love your enthusiasm to see us cover certain things, but we really like doing covers we're personally invested in. We're always trying to put out something new for you guys, even if it's not specifically what you wanted. Some things just don't work with lyrics. We're not shutting down the idea of covering these games, but that's why we never really take on requests. How have you liked your Have a Nice Death but lyrics videos so far? The Have a Nice Death stuff has been great fun so far. It's a game I feel very passionate about since its release. I made a few covers genuinely not expecting much attention since the game itself isn't the most popular. However, since it's one of the most anticipated things on our channel that isn't even an official project, it's been great fun seeing so much support for a game we plan to make videos on for a while to come. But there's a second part of the question here. Let's see. Are you planning on doing a Matter of Life? Oh, for God's sake! What songs were your favorite to make? What songs do you want to do more of in the future? How did you all first meet? And why are all your choruses such bangers? Right. That's 4 questions in one, so let's tackle these one at a time. If I had to bring it down to our one-off covers, then I think Fiery Frolic and Rush Hour are some of my favorite lyrics to go back to. As for what content I'd like to try and do more of, I would love to do more Hades too, but Jesus, this community hates Hades content. It's genuinely one of the greatest games ever made, and we will continue to bully you until you play it. For how we all met, I just kind of met everyone casually over Discord. We all just happened to have a shared interest in doing this kind of content, so the group just kind of stuck.
I met Cam, Odd, and Soph through a cover group and was brought onto Muses staff shortly after, where I met Adam and Ryan through FNAF After Hours. I think my first actual time interacting with Adam was like in a completely separate server that was just for playing like Mafia or Werewolf, but I don't know, it's been years, so I don't really remember.
And for chorus stuff, I don't know, it's just that I like writing fun chorus songs. Our Apex of the World is some of my favorites because I think it both works as a recurring motif and a contrast between characters. What's your goal from now until Christmas?
Survive.
Finally touch some grass.
Get back to making karaoke videos.
Make bank.
Well, if it hasn't happened yet, then I definitely want to finish the Hollow Knight project. It's very close to completion with 3 of the 15 left to complete. After that, there are a few stray covers we want to do, but soon afterwards, I will at least be taking a break from actively working on the channel until the next year. This is so I can focus on my schoolwork a lot more, and because we've been doing weekly uploads for most of this year. And while I'm incredibly proud of this, I do want to take a break before I burn out. Next year, we will have some exciting new stuff to put out, as well as hopefully returning to old projects. Dark Deception might get some remasters, new tracks, and if Chapter 5 finally releases, we'll have some new content to work on. We may also look for some new members to join the team, but that's up in the air. What cover was your favorite to make lyrics for? Also, what cover has your favorite artwork with it?
Adam has the ability to just perfectly replicate styles sometimes. See things like Scales of Justice or any of the Have a Nice Death videos, but like, I gotta say, Fiery Frolic's art just goes hard.
Refer to my last answer about favourite covers. As for art, I'll shout out some of the less popular ones, with Max Brass, because I like the poses I did, and especially this background. And also Stage Dive, really proud of the shading and composition of those ones. Technically 2 questions. How do you choose what games to do songs collections for, and would you all ever consider doing a musical of a full OST?
Most of my choices come from games I like and games that have a very rich soundtrack.
Same answer for the first. As for the second, I would argue that not every song in a soundtrack needs lyrics. Don't let that stop you from finding a way, though, soldier.
So there's some criteria that is at play whenever we decide to create a package. First off, is there enough content in the game and soundtrack to make a significant number of tracks for the channel? For me personally, I choose games I have a deep connection to and feel really enthusiastic about.
Unless their name is Paper Mario Color Splash.
It's mainly about what I think will be fun to work on over the long term, and as for musicals, it's really not on the cards right now. Musicals take a lot of effort to complete, a lot of planning, commitment, and not many games suit the format. And believe us, we don't want to pile on even more Undertale musicals into this space. But considering Muses is just a hobby for most of us, we'll stick to our one-off covers and packages. Would you consider doing more FNAF World related music? Not really. FNAF World soundtrack is pretty good, but Stone Cold is the only one with any real substance, and I only really made that one because it wasn't going to be in FNAF After Hours. Also, I really don't care much for FNAF anymore personally. If other members of the team do it, then I don't mind, but it's really not something we're thinking about. If fanverse stuff is good though, we'll definitely try doing that, as we've done for Pop Goes Arcade.
So much of the OST is reused throughout the game, so the number of unique character themes is low. And besides, the surface level story of FNAF World is so shallow, and the deeper lore related story is so vague and inconclusive that 95% of the themes would devolve to nothing but, I will stop you from saving animatronica, in different flavors over and over and over.
What's the line/lyric you've written that you're most proud of? There's a few that I'm really happy with. One is from Broken Vessel with recall your purpose, don't feel though it hurts. I think it's a pretty good summary of the vessels in the game and ties in with tracks that we haven't released yet. Also the entire chorus for Fishing Vibes, since it held a lot of importance to me at the time of writing, as I was going through some pretty substantial changes in my life. I'd encourage more people to check that one out. I'm still really proud of it, and it didn't really get much attention upon release.
Okay, I submitted this question, but that was before Adam asked the rest of the staff to join in answering, so I'm gonna answer it too, because why not? My favorite line I've written for Muses is this what you do just to see something new, from Megalovania. You know, simple, concise, and I think it perfectly sums up the thesis of the No Mercy run. I'm proud of it.
Towns of darkness all fall silent when the light shines through. Through the blindness they see hope, and that hope falls on you. Our cure. Find your way back home. The freedom.
How do I join your production? Also, do you play Trove? Finally, have you subscribed to Hit Content Farm? Yeah, we ain't letting you promote anything here, pal. Nice try.
I used to back when it was an open beta years ago, but lost interest because it felt like the same grind fest as most other games. That sort of sandbox just isn't this man's thing anymore.
As for joining our team, we don't ever plan to host formal submissions for it. We have 6 members currently, and we're a pretty tight group. For most projects and other things, we will mostly still hold applications and auditions for voice actors, artists, and mixers where appropriate. What inspired you to create this channel?
Long story short, other YouTube channels have been adding lyrics to existing video game songs. While I did follow suit with the Aspen Collective to create this channel, Adam and the other 4 were the real drivers carrying it through full swing. Muses grew up so fast.
Okay, lore time. So, we are actually not technically the first owners of the channel. This group was originally put together to do big musical projects only, rather than the individual covers that we do now. But after Adam took over, we still wanted to do video game cover stuff, so we started putting together the style that we have now. And by that, I mean Josh and Adam started writing like madmen. We still do big musical projects, like the Fire Emblem package, watch it, and Hollow Knight, and Color Splash, but we also get to do one-off things that we just feel like doing.
When a song's writing is finished, how long is the turnaround usually set for performers to compose their final takes?
2 weeks, particularly because I have a lot of other things to juggle, like power leveling.
Once a song is fully written, if it's a one-off cover, I usually approach someone about voicing the role. If they accept, then I provide them with all the materials like demos and lyric sheets. From there, I usually provide a 2 to 3 week window with room for extension if needed. For artists, I usually give around 1 month with the same extension grace. Do you have any tips on what you guys do, as I'd like to try doing it at some point?
Know that it's going to be really bad when you start, so don't drag yourself down over not having the quality of people who've done this for years. Start off getting comfy with it. Try some simple videos that you find fun, but whatever you do, don't start off with a big, crazy musical dream project. Give yourself time to learn and improve beforehand. Really dig into and dissect what you enjoy about lyrical covers and other actual musicals. Figure out why you like what you like on a deeper level than, it sounds cool, or the bigger channel did it, so it must be a good idea, and leaving it there. Use that to inform your creative decisions moving forward.
Don't expect your first draft to be perfect. Get a second or even third pair of eyes when working on lyrics.
If you're mixing with Audacity, please understand the difference between 44.1 kHz and 48 kHz. If you're getting tired of that, please graduate from Audacity and buy a better DAW.
Yes, there are absolutely some tips I would like to share with you people interested in doing this type of content. One of them is to make the content you are personally invested in. Yes, there are a handful of things you can cover that can get you tons of views, but if your heart isn't in there, it will ring hollow, and that well will run its course. That's how Muses has kept up for so long. We've all had a shared interest in putting our unique spins on these works into the world for people to enjoy regardless of popularity. Second piece of advice is for those interested in running projects. For any scale, big or small, always prepare. Writing especially. If you've completed the writing phase, then you'll know yourself you can commit to the project. Others can see that, and you can stick it in audition material. And on top of that, you can hit the ground running instead of having a bunch of cast waiting around for you to finish, or in some cases start writing. So yeah, have as clear a picture as possible before making starts on projects. You won't regret it. A few minutes of planning in the early game will save you hours of production in the later game. What project was/is the most fun for you guys to make? I think it has to be Hollow Knight for me. It's been the smoothest and most varied production we've had so far, with everyone pulling their weight to make some genuinely incredible stuff.
Listen, Security Breach and the Elevator package will forever be my babies and my magnum opuses. Magnum opus? I don't know the plural. But all things considered, Hollow Knight is really up there right now. It might just be that, it's the one that we're working on right now, but it's coming along really well, and I'm really happy to be a part of it. Not to say that the other stuff I'm not happy with, I'm gonna stop talking.
Hollow Knight.
Dear songwriter and funny man Adamination and others of the Muses crew, could you please not make any Splatoon songs? With love, Sussex.
Not if I have anything to say about it.
Get to hell. Are there any series that you want to touch on that you haven't already?
Haggle! Ducks can drive!
Animal Crossing.
I'd love to do something from Alan Wake or another survival type game. Those soundtracks usually slap. As for songs, I still want to finish another Lethal Company short I've had on the burner for a little bit.
Splatoon.
There are so many franchises I want to touch on that haven't had much in the ways of lyrical adaptations. Pikmin being one of them. It's my favourite Nintendo franchise, and there sadly isn't much to work on with in terms of the soundtrack. And also Shovel Knight. I know we did Defender a while back, but there are so many cool characters in the game, but sadly the music doesn't lend itself well to lyrics in any way. So, as much as I'd like to try it, it's probably not happening. Will Oro and Mato get their own songs with two similar voices? Just an idea for the Hollow Knight songs. Here's the thing, when we release a project to the channel, chances are that everything is fully written and multiple videos are in the works. By that time, we don't really take requests, nor do we shift the plans at any point. We're not saying this won't happen, but to know that this is generally how our projects work. Before I share my question, I just wanted to say that I absolutely loved the job you did with It's About Time video. No wonder it's one of the most popular on the channel, as Animations absolutely nailed it, with the singing just as much as the artwork. I still listen to the song almost every day and never get tired of it. You do a wonderful job on all your videos, but for me, this one was peak of musical performance. And speaking of animations, this leads me to my question. I couldn't help but notice that he was the voice of King in Drama Josh's lyrical adaptation of Chaos King. Do you guys often work with other channels for your or their projects, or was it a one-time thing only? Also, have a nice time whatever it is whenever you read this.
We do, and it's a constant thing for us. But it is all still voluntary. Every content creator working on another stuff to fuel each other's channel is typical. More so when you find the right people with the same interests. In this case, with Adam and Josh getting their hands on a new roguelite with a killer soundtrack.
Well, first off, thank you for the kind words, genuinely means a lot. As for working on other projects, Josh and I work very closely, considering he's a part of the Muses staff, and we're really good friends outside of that. I help him with videos, and he helps me with mine. That goes for the rest of the staff as well. We all work very closely with each other, which is why you'll see a lot of us making appearances on each other's channels. So I'll make this a quiet plug for Josh's and Ryan's channel, since those guys make some great stuff.
Adam was literally the first singer on Drama Josh that wasn't me, like 3-4 years ago, and I'm the first public voice on Muses. I've had Adam and other members of the staff on my channel more times than I can count. Same goes for me singing, writing, and doing other stuff for this channel, because we're friends and like to work with each other. I'm not trying to be, like, mean at all. I'm just really surprised that you somehow avoided any of the other examples until now.
Why are the order of songs for some pieces of media so inconsistent? Hollow Knight had, like, that string of numbers, I guess.
Honestly, this is kind of a pet peeve I have with how some people view this type of content sometimes. Videos don't always need to be released in chronological order, especially bigger projects like Hollow Knight. As an example, let's say you're making a Deltarune musical. You could go chronologically, releasing each track in the story order, but that'll leave many VAs you hired for people like King, Queen, Spamton, Rules, and others sitting around sort of just twiddling their thumbs for months while the Susie and Rouse actors are drowning in work with all those early game tracks. Plus, it leaves the viewers waiting for months, sometimes years on end if you work that slow, like me, just to see some of the more popular or anticipated tracks like Attack of the Killer Queen or Big Shot. To put it this way, if the Mantis Lord VAs are busy, why should you just sit around and wait when Broken Vessel and Grey Prince Zode are ready to go? Everything will be in the right order in playlists and full package videos anyway, so who really cares?
So for the Hollow Knight project specifically, it's because we don't want to show off everything we have before the full release of the package. There are some tracks that won't work on their own beforehand, and there are others we want to keep a surprise. Also, it allows us to be more flexible in production. We don't need to work from track 1 to 15 in that specific order. We can tackle them however is best to divide the workload. If this goes well, which it has for this project, we'll keep it going in future projects down the line. Will you ever put lyrical songs on Spotify?
Not likely. I have trust issues with music companies.
No. We do not own the music created in any of our videos, nor the characters or series. If we were to upload them to actual music sites like Spotify and the likes, we'd certainly run into many legal issues. Apologies to everyone who keeps asking for our music on Spotify, but that's just how it is. When's Megalovania?
When I play Undertale.
Anyway, that's all the questions. Thank you so much if you submitted one. Hopefully we can do this sometime in the future. Please look out for exciting stuff on the channel, subscribe and all that nonsense. Everybody, say goodbye. I didn't have them record an outro.